This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the WWE Ultimate Edition, The Fiend. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased in that standard Ultimate window box packaging. Turning the box around, we can see an image of the figure and the character, as well as a short tail of the tape. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this Ultimate Fiend here. I am so excited for this. Bray Wyatt has been one of my favorites out of the past decade. He's just killing it time and time again. Even with the whole Husky Harris thing, he was my favorite Nexus member. And then we did the Wyatt family, and now he's doing the whole Fiend thing with Alexa Bliss. I mean, for me, he's just been one of my top guys again over the past 10 years. So I was all about getting pretty much every figure of him, which I basically do right now. So I'm all about this, man. This looks so freaking good. So I love the jacket that we're getting here. I love how they've done this, right? So sometimes they give us those hard plastic coats and jacket things where they're just too stiff. And you can't do anything with them, you can't pose them around, or they have the fabric that may not look good for certain styles of clothing. Like this one, of course, has like the metal studs, you know, and the coated tails like that, and you got to see the straps with the buckles on the back. You can't get that look precisely with these particular figures, so you'd have to go sculpted. But how they're making the separate pieces now, I think it looks great. The face sculpt, man, that thing looks so good. I absolutely love that face sculpt. Looks really cool. The teeth look nicely painted. The eyes and the painter on the mask looks awesome. I love the hair with that dark wash on there. Everything about this looks so cool. I love the dread just going over like the one eye like that. So dope, man. I do wish that buckle's sculpted, but I get it, not a big deal. But still looks really nice. You got the red and black stripes right here, looking really cool. I do love the fact that we got very unique boots for this guy, looking so dope. Whereas the previous figures just use like standard wrestling boots, but this is more appropriate. He has those like covers that go over the wrestling boots, which is really nice. The paint on the boots all look really good. You got everything at the bottom there with peg holes. I mean, I'm loving this, man. He just looks so awesome. Such a cool looking piece. Now what's really cool is that we actually, again, this is not a solid piece of plastic, so you know you have motion with the arms and things like that, which is really nice. So you actually have to pull off the arms like so, take these off like that, and we can pull off this whole jacket piece. And then some of the accessories that we got here are some bare arms without the jacket piece, which I think are very cool. So now you have a fully different look right there without that jacket. So looking at him now without the jacket here, looks really good. You can see all the different tattoos that they have, and they do such a good job with the tattoos, man. All looking really dope. You can see that big tribal he has on the back of his neck, on his back blades right here. They look really nice. You can even see it across like the chest coming over here like that. What I do like, you can kind of see, it's a little tricky on my lighting, but you can see the praying hands printed on like that ghosted printing on his shirt, which is really nice. I love that, dude. I think it looks really good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in the standard Elite Fiend here so you can see the similarities and the differences. So this one, of course, has that hands printed on the shirt. This one's just a simple black tank top. They do have the exact same head sculpt, but what's going to be the difference is the hair, how this comes over to the one side on this, and this just comes onto the one side like that. All throughout that, the hair sculpt is going to be completely different. And then the pants themselves are actually different as well. We see on the Ultimate, we have more of a reddish color, where this one's definitely more like a burgundy. And then you can see where they actually did use the standard like wrestling boots for this one. Whereas this one, he actually has the new sculpted like covers for the boots. So that's actually going to make this one just a little bit taller because these are just reused parts where these are more original and more accurate. So, you know, it really depends on which ones you like. I personally like this one more. And to be honest, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'm not saying it's inaccurate, but did he actually wear like bright red and black striped pants like this? Like, I know the burgundy ones like this he's worn several times, but I'm wondering if there's actually ones that are more reddish like this. So if there is, please let me know, because I just don't remember, and maybe I'm just completely screwing that up. But still, you can tell they are vastly different colors, or maybe it's just a miscolor. I don't know. Again, feel free to let me know. Still, he looks really awesome, dude. Very intimidating. I love how we have like things like the hurt on the one hand and then the heel on the other, printed on the knuckles. I think that's so cool. I mean, man, this is just such a badass fun piece. I absolutely love it. Now moving on to the accessories. Of course, I showed you the coat here, which is again separate piece, and the interchangeable arms, which I do love. I hope that's something they do moving forward, which I think is actually really nice. Then the arms here are separate pieces, again, which is really cool. We also do get an extra head, which I think is awesome. This is one with his hair thrown back and the tongue sticking out of the mask, which I think is so cool. So I love the fact that we got both of these heads, because that is wicked looking, dude. I think that came out so awesome. I was actually really hoping for this head with the Elite, but we're getting it for the Ultimate Edition, so we got both of these, which I think are so awesome. Both of these are incredible, so I love that. And then the other accessory we do get is going to be his title belt here, which is a very unique title. Let me try and get a close-up shot of that creepy thing. And I love this. This was actually designed by Tom Savini's studio, if you know who Tom Savini is. He's a very popular special effects and horror makeup artist. He's very well known. But I love the way that looks, dude. They did such a good job with this title. The paint on there looks amazing. The buckles are actually plugged in, same standard buckle that we see, but I love the fact that they actually added the actual buckles to that with silver paint, and you can just extend this to see all the stitching and things like that. And I love how it says "Let," then "Me," the Fiend right there, and "In" like that, and then you can see "Hurt" on the top, "Heel" on the bottom. I mean, man, that's a cool, creepy, really very unique looking title. Probably, I'll say the most unique title that we've ever seen in WWE, pro wrestling, whatever you want to call it. I think it's very interesting. It's very nice. You can see in this insider too some of the stitching work for the study and things. So they actually did an extremely good job. And again, I love how the buckles are sculpted, but it still plugs on like a standard Elite belt. So I think that's really cool. So that's all we get here for this figure. Oh, excuse me, the wrong one. For this figure right here. And this can fit around his waist. It actually does fit on there pretty nicely, so you can get that on there like so, and then you just kind of gotta peg it in place like that, and it works on there very nicely. One thing I will say, I'm surprised it didn't come with the lantern. That's something I thought we would actually get with this figure, but it didn't. So this is the one from the Elite figure. So if you have that, you can still put that one in this one's hands if you want to, hold on to it nice and tight. So it's interesting that we didn't get this with this figure. So I mean, no big deal, I guess, because again, I already have it. So it's just something I thought we'd get a little extra against being an Ultimate Edition that's more expensive. Oh, and you can change the hands as well. They just come on standard pegs. So if you want to switch them out with one of the ones on like the sleeved arms, like so, and then we can take that one off and put it on the unsleeved like this, or the bare arms, and then now you have the two gripping hands like so. So pretty cool, man. We get a lot of cool things. I love this. Again, such a great looking character, very toyetic, and again, such a badass piece. So moving on to the articulation, the head is on a ball joint, rolls around very nicely. Do get left and right, up and down a decent amount, and pivot side to side. Arms go full 360, up and out that far. Rotation at the shoulder and rotation at the bicep. We get double jointed elbows like so, as well as rotation at the wrist and as well as a hinge at the wrist. Same thing with these sleeved arms. You get rotation at the bicep and double jointed elbows, so you get a lot of good motion there, which is really nice, so I like that. We get that ball peg in the midsection, so it rolls around right there. And I do love how the paint actually carries on pretty far of those praying hands. Again, it's kind of hard to see here, but you can see it carries on in there. So you get a lot of good motion there, rolls around, rotates with the waist pivot like so, crunches back and forth a decent amount. So that's not terrible. You got the waist ab cut right there, so that works out really nice. I do still wish it had an actual ab crunch like the Elites to help it bend forward a little more, because sometimes this doesn't work all that great. Hip joints kick forward that far, back, not so much. Splits out about that far. Rotation upper thigh. Double jointed knees like so. Rotation at the boot. Ankles go up, down. They're very freaking stiff. Ankle rocker, and we do get toe articulation. So overall, I think this is a fantastic figure. I am so happy that I got it. Again, I will be collecting every, elite / ultimate figure of Bray Wyatt, man. I am so fingers crossed for an elite Husky Harris at some point. But he, again, one of my favorite wrestlers of the past decade. I think he's just so cool. And this is such an amazing figure that I think is absolutely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and McFarlane Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the Elite Fiend and Masters of the WWE Universe Fiend. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Ultimate Fiend. Now man, this has got to be one of the most impressive wrestling figures that I think I've ever owned. The Fiend character is very toyetic, and I think this just nails it. Mattel did an amazing job. I love the head scans, and the paint apps are super clean. That belt is got to be one of the most detailed and awesome belts I've ever seen. Hey, even if you don't like the design, you gotta appreciate how much effort they put into that toy belt. I love the fact that he has interchangeable arms so you can interchange the coat properly instead of those hard rubber coats that we would get sometimes. I absolutely hate those things. Again, and I could understand why they couldn't do a soft goods coat for this, but the way they did it, it works great. I love the articulation, all the new original parts here that aren't reused just from a standard Elite. I mean, man, this is one killer figure. I think Bray Wyatt is doing such a great job, and again, one of my favorite wrestlers of the past decade, and this Ultimate Fiend is a great testament to what he's doing in the ring and as a character. I absolutely love this piece, so if you can get him, I highly recommend him, because in my opinion, he is definitely a must get. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.